Pressley Harvin is not on the injury report.
So, this is interesting. I like it, though. I mean, we've all talked about Pressley's play, right? And regardless of if I'm talking about the net punting or if people are just talking about overall punting, we would agree that, yeah, you would still want him to be better and more consistent. So if you're bringing in a Brad Wing to either let him know that, hey, we really want you to be better this week, then, hey, man, Brad's a guy that can come in here and push him.
Advance, yeah, hey, this guy might be next up.
Absolutely. So it's like, man, we're going to see what you look like in practice. Go out there and you play your game. But if you're not what we think you need to be, then we got this other option that's here and we're already familiar with it as well. So that's kind of how I look at that part. And like I said, it's cause and effect. Nothing personal with Press. You know, I got mad love for Press. But it's like, man, when you open the door or you leave the door open for debate like he's done this season, when the team decides to bring in a guy, regardless of the status or the caliber of him, you don't get to be upset about it. You just kind of have to work through it. So hopefully for him, it's used as more motivation that Brad is here, and that makes him lock in and punt even better versus it being the alternative where, you know, you get in your feelings and you shut it down, and now Brad be punting for you and you'll be watching Brad punt.
Wing wasn't bad in the first game we saw him this year.
Uh-huh.
Second game,
But that's also part of why Wing has been available as well, man. When you think about it, it was like dudes that you're picking up at this time of year that you're able to get on and off the rosters, they're available for reasons, whether it's injury, whether it's lack of production, whether it's lack of consistency, or some people just got off the field stuff, right? So it's like, you know, to some extent it's going to be how long does it work until the other shoe falls off. And that's part of what people say with the whole Joe Flacco thing, right? How long until? Because if it was this great this whole time, why was it even available? If he could do this whole time and it was sustainable, why did he ever leave wherever he was at prior to even coming here? You know, and those are some of the questions that legitimately get asked. We just hope that for us, I'm sure for Cleveland, they're saying the same thing, that, man, that other shoe don't fall off anytime soon. Because we obviously got our own scenario of that with Mason. Above your head, you do see a beautiful logo. DraftKings Sportsbook. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Beautiful, might I add. Beautiful. Okay. Now, what is DraftKings? Well, they're just the top-rated sportsbooking app in all of North of America. They are safe. Just like Deke, they're secure. And like me and Deke, they're reliable. All right? You need reliability when you're talking about the sports booking world, okay? So, with that being the case, though, we love them because during this time of year, there's plenty of parlays out there and a lot of other ways that you might be looking to, you know, up the ante for Super Wild Card Weekend. Well, ladies and gents, the best way to do that is to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. But when you do so, you're going to have to, you know, type in your name. And that's cool when you set all that stuff up. But bump all that. When it's time for that first deposit, when it's time for that first wager, make sure you do one thing. Make sure it's a minimum of $5, but use the promo code MOATS. So that way you can receive up to $200 in free bet money. All right. It's a beautiful thing. We call it draft deposit money. All right. So with that being the case, you see the promo code, you see the link, but I also understand, Deke, that at times people struggle. Now, if I'm talking to you or someone you might know that has a gambling problem, needs crisis counseling or even referral services. If you live in New York, you see the number to text. But for everybody else, the number to dial is 1-800-GAMBLER. I said 1-800-GAMBLER.